Hey guys, this is Comic Uno and Comic Frontline, and today I'm doing Comic Uno episode 202. So let's get started. This is a show where I review all the comics I read this week in one show. I go worst pick of the week to best pick of the week and everything in between. This week was a lighter week. I only got 13 books, so very light. Let's get started. What was worst pick of the week? Number 13 for me was Alters issue 6. So this book has returned after a couple of months hiatus. It still is not exactly where I want the series to be. You know, definitely the best aspects being the family idea, and also seeing that this character is transgender. I like that narrative, but the superhero aspect is weaker. There's nothing that really pulls me to this superhero world and what makes it different to other superhero worlds, and that's what they've been focusing on more and less on the family aspect. So hopefully that changes as the series goes on. Also, the artwork is a bit simplistic, so I gave this issue 2.5 stars. Now moving on to number 12, which is Generations, Totally Awesome Hulk and Bruce Banner Hulk, issue 1. This was a bit of a disappointment, and it is a $4.99 book, which is why it's a bit lower. It just feels very generic in so many ways. It's just re-explaining who Hulk is, which we kind of know Hulk's origins, and Totally Awesome Hulk being thrown into the early days of Hulk. And their conversations are kind of hollow in the book, and I feel like there could have been more meat, more character work between these two characters, and it just wasn't there. Artwork also, there's so much shading that you couldn't enjoy the detail. The coloring was just okay, and that's it. The book was just okay for an event I think a lot of us were looking forward to. It just wasn't the best first issue to put out for Generations, but hopefully the next ones will be better. I believe the next one is next week, and that's going to be the Jean Grey issue. So this issue I'm going to give 2.5 stars, and that is number 12. Moving on to number 11, which is Spider-Man issue 19. Still a book that's just not going anywhere. In this issue, it focuses a bit on Gonki. He's talking to somebody that knows that Miles is Spider-Man, so we see that he's not being the best friend. He's also telling Miles to quit being Spider-Man, which is interesting. So he's being a good friend, but also it's a weird new step for Gonki. And then also you have the storyline with Miles' mother still trying to deal with Miles being Spider-Man, which I totally still don't agree with, because she accepted Miles being Spider-Man very early on in the Ultimate Universe, so it's weird to see the storyline replay here in a totally different way. So yeah, just not really invested in this storyline right now, so I gave this 2.5 stars. Even the artwork was a bit simplistic and not as detailed as it usually is. Moving on to number 10, which is Darth Vader issue 4, which I thought was an okay issue. Not a lot happens here. It's just Darth Vader gets his lightsaber, and that's pretty much it. It focuses more on that Jedi character, like the new Jedi character, and what he's dealing with, and then Darth Vader like trying to get himself out of the rubble, and then he's badass and he's able to defeat the Jedi and he gets the lightsaber. And that's pretty much it. So it's a bit of a slow issue, but if you are liking the action-oriented Darth Vader, I think you'll enjoy this issue also. Alright, moving on to number 9, which is a book I actually liked the last issue of, but it was a little bit too much with this one, and that is Superman issue 28. So I liked the whole history thing that was going on in the last issue, but I thought it was only going to be one issue. So we get it continued here, and there was a lot more of a history lesson in this issue than the last one. They're literally reading plaques for about 4 pages, like, well, this happened in the Korean War, blah, 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 blah. I just think that could have organically been told better. Not that I don't like that this book is being patriotic. Superman is definitely a character that should be patriotic. Lois Lane is a character that should be talking about the military. But the way it's executed here, it just felt like copy and pasting of history facts, and that was a bit of a disappointment. But there are some nice family scenes, which is why it's a bit higher, and the artwork is solid, so I'm going to give this 3 stars. I did like John, just hanging out with his parents. I love the kind of lovey-dovey moments between Lois and Clark. Those were nice, but the history lessons should have been told a little bit more interestingly in this issue. So I'm going to give this 3 stars. Moving on to number 8, which is Batman issue 28, where I feel like this whole Joker Riddler story is kind of getting into a standstill. But why this is higher is because I do like the kind of cinematic approach this storyline has been taking. I like, James Gordon going up against the Joker and Riddler and how he approaches them differently. There's a little scene between Catwoman and Batman, which was cool. But yeah, it's slow, it's kind of forgettable, so overall I gave it 3 stars, even though the artwork is really good for this book. Moving on to number 7, which is Green Lanterns issue 28. I enjoyed this issue. It does take some time to like introduce all these first lanterns, but I love that it's Jessica kind of taking lead because she is this new lantern and she just kind of learned how to make projections, but now she has to take the lead of helping these lanterns that know nothing, and Baz not even having his lantern ring, but it's not Baz being jealous of Jessica, it's still this really solid partnership. And then also this Kryptonian Green Lantern having too much willpower and exploding, so there is consequences if they do this wrong. They can die. So pretty interesting stuff. There are slower parts, like I said, because it is like a lot of introduction in the issue, but it is still a solid character story for Jessica. So I'm going to give this 3.5 stars. Moving on to number 6, which is Deathstroke, issue 22. A bit more of an action-oriented issue, just introducing these new Titans, and why Deathstroke wants to do what he's doing. And there's a lot of great scenes between Deathstroke and Dr. Light, which is a great Teen Titans villain. But also just seeing these characters interact in the team, like how they work together. I loved how Tara, like, attacked Rose when she entered in. So there's a lot of fun parts, and I'm really liking this new direction for Deathstroke. That's number 6. Moving on to number 5, a book that I loved the story, but the artwork wasn't there for me, and that is X-Men Gold, issue 9. Love the story here of Colossus and Kitty trying to reconnect. Kitty going to Washington, kind of explaining why mutants deserve to be in America, pretty much. A lot of great stuff here that, you know, a lot of great character work for Kitty. But also even Kurt and Rachel kind of exploring their romantic relationship was a lot of fun. A throwback of old character of Kitty's. Her dance instructor is a congresswoman now, so that was a lot of fun. But the artwork is still not there. The coloring's not on par. It's very orange. I don't love the colors there. And there's scenes where they're just like stick figures. Like here, there's no detail in their face. There's times where Kitty Pryde has eyes and she doesn't have eyes. Like, the artwork definitely could be neater. But I did like the story, and that's why I'm going to give this one 4 stars. The story was very good, even if the cliffhanger felt a bit placeholder-ish. But there's a lot of great character work here that I think makes the issue worth it. So X-Men Gold issue 9 gets 4 stars. Moving on to number 4, which is Hawkeye, issue 9. Not as strong as what we've been getting with Hawkeye, but still a good issue, because we get to see some snark, you know, some snarky comments between Hawkeye and everyone else that she's fighting. I love the whole Fight Club scene, but it's still just trying to wrap up this father-daughter mission that she has. It's supposed to be a parallel to her own father-daughter relationship. But there wasn't a lot of the Bishop family, which was disappointing. And the cliffhanger was a little bit too mysterious, which I'm guessing is either her sister or her mother. Because she dropped something on the floor. It's like, oh, why are you here? So I'm guessing it's her sister or her mom. If the mom's still alive, we'll have to see. That's the mystery, what happened to the mom. But yeah, it's still, you know, it was a good issue because of Kate, because of her personality. I like her relationship with the detective, because I think out of the supporting characters, she's the only one with a defined personality, and that's where the issue goes down to, is that they're using these supporting characters, or just kind of placeholder characters. So I'm going to give this 4 stars because the artwork is gorgeous, and when this book is rocking, it's rocking. There's so much good comedy and action here, but there are some nitpicks I have with the issue 2 that's not as high as it has been in the past couple of months. But moving on to number 3, a book that I am glad is kind of stepping to the plate more, and that is Jessica Jones, issue 11. I love Maria Hill and Jessica Jones' relationship. It opens up with Jessica saying, you know, Are you a life model decoy? Are you a life model decoy? Alright, to prove it, you have to pee in a cup. And Maria's like, alright, I'll go to the bathroom and do that. She's like, no, you gotta do it here. So that back and forth was brilliant and classic Brian Michael Bendis that I kind of miss in his other books. So that was really cool. But also learning more about Maria Hill's past and her father was really interesting. It was a little weird when she they changed the artwork and she was like young Maria Hill. That is where it kind of lost me a bit, but it got back where in the last part of the issue we see Maria asks, oh, did you read this file? Like, you know, it's about Nick Fury, and we don't really know what's in the file. And Jessica's like, yeah, of course I read the file. And Maria shoots her, and we don't know what happens next. And that was a really good cliffhanger. So I've been really enjoying this current arc of Jessica Jones, and I'm going to give this issue 4.5 stars. Now moving on to number 2, which is World Reader issue 5, a book I've been loving. And you know why I've been loving it so much is that the mystery is paced so well in this book. It doesn't dangle you. We're only in issue 5 and we already know who the world killer really is. And we find out it's America. It's the people that Sarah's been working with has been killing these planets. And we find out their motives. And I like the whole parallel to history in America, in other countries of... It's just really good. I really enjoyed that aspect. And now it's that, but in space. So yeah. And also we get to see Sarah's exploring her powers a little bit more. Every issue you see her powers getting stronger. A lot of drama, but also this interesting existentialist monologue going on in her head that I've been loving since the first issue. Just really well-paced book and some really good character moments here too. So, World Reader issue 5 gets 4.5 stars. Now, moving on to number 1, and this was an easy pick for me this week, and that was Injustice 2 issue 7. If you're an Oliver Queen and Dinah fan, or just like a old school DC fan, I think you're gonna have a blast with this. There's so many great character moments where Dinah and Oliver are just trying to get married. I love that Dinah doesn't have cold feet, but she's like a little anxious, and Wildcat's gonna be walking her down the aisle, and before the wedding, they just fight each other. That's how they relax. So that was great. So there's great character moments like that. We have an interesting scene where Oliver gets shot, and you're like, oh my god, is Oliver gonna die? But he's like wearing a bulletproof tuxedo. And then some interesting cliffhangers of Oliver and Dinah's children, a child being kidnapped and Black Lightning's children being kidnapped. So that was a pretty big cliffhanger where Dinah obviously has a hysterical reaction to her son being kidnapped, and we'll see how our heroes save them. And also Damien kidnapping Alfred's body and putting him into the Lazarus pit. So that was a big cliffhanger too, progressing the villain storyline. So Injustice 2 issue 7 just has so many great character moments. It's classic Tom Taylor, really, but it's also classic DC, so if you enjoy Oliver and Dinah, definitely pick this one up. It was a great read, and one of the best Injustice books I've read in a while, so definitely pick that one up. That is 4.5 stars, and that's my pick of the week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic and Now Comic Frontline. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.